Today we're diving into more Tower of God theories. Let's go! We're starting off with a theory that only makes sense with the recent chapters, but it really goes back all the way to the very beginning of the story. We know Gustang and Traumerei have sealed their memories within these objects. We don't really know exactly with Traumerei, but Gustang sealed his memories within a book. And it's implied that all the family heads, we're not really sure about Jihad, but the family heads at least have all sealed their memories away. Gustang obviously wants to get him back, Traumerei doesn't. What if we know what exactly Hansung blood matter sealed his memories into? That being Hansung Yu. The relationship between Hansung and blood matter was reconfirmed during the Nest arc, where Traumerei himself acknowledged Hansung's existence and told Perseus not to harm him, but to capture him, not to kill him, but just to capture him. He made the connection that blood matter has a connection to Hansung Yu, and now that we know that each of the family heads has sealed their memories away within something, maybe Hansung is that thing for blood matter. This theory goes a step further in saying that perhaps Hansung has those memories. Like, not only are they sealed within Hansung, but perhaps Hansung himself has those memories and knows whatever it was that Hansung sealed away. And this could explain a lot of the motivations behind Hansung Yu. It could explain how he, in particular, knows a lot of things that he really shouldn't. We see that during the Hidden Floor, where he's the kind of the predictor that Bomb will show up. He also knows of the existence of the captains. Hansung is a character that people always question, why the hell does he know so much? And this would actually explain it. It could even be a case where he just has some of the memories, and that's enough of a reason for him to do what he does. So yeah, shout out to Poros2307. Awesome theory. I'd love to hear everyone else's thoughts in the comments. Ramiel Levitt has a theory about Hedon, and particularly the first chapter where Hedon and Bomb first meet. We know that Hedon is the administrator of the first floor. I mean, we know that Bomb is from outside the tower. There's a strange thing that happens when they first meet where Hedon can understand Bomb, which automatically isn't that weird. But then when Yuri shows up, it's kind of discovered that Yuri can't understand Bomb until she gives him a pocket, which auto-translates Bomb's speech. Now, automatically, pretty cool. It introduces us to pockets and the fact that everybody speaks different languages in the tower. But then we have to question, why does Hedon understand Bomb? Unless Hedon has some kind of ability which just translates everything. And if that's the case, I mean, this theory kind of falls apart, but that would be kind of lame, right? I think what's more interesting is the fact that Hedon knows the language that Bomb is speaking, and perhaps this is a language from outside the tower. It would make sense if Rachel was the one that taught Bomb how to speak. I mean, Bomb grew up in a cave, right? I mean, Rachel was the only person he had ever met. I think it's safe to say, right? She even gave him the name 25th Bomb. So all that being said, does Hedon know the language of Bomb because he's been outside the tower? Hedon's definitely involved in a lot of stuff, including Fug through Ghost and all this stuff, and possibly talking to Gustang at the end of the Floor of Death. Maybe Hedon has been outside the tower, and he's using that knowledge or that influence or that connection to the outside god in some unknown way. Fishy way, as the poster says. In some way that is contributing even further to the story than we thought. It's just a little suspicious that Hedon can understand Bomb unless Hedon knows this sort of language of the outside, which, why would he? It's kind of interesting. Master Gold has an insane theory that basically Paracule climbs the tower. When he climbs the tower, it starts a Groundhog Day loop, and that's Tower of God. I mean, it's basically canon at this point, come on. Spatial Wonderland has a theory about Laure, which is pretty cool. I mentioned in a recent stream that Lauro uses a scythe, which was pointed out to me because of the mobile game where it's one of his ultimate abilities. And what's pretty interesting is that there is a god in Greek mythology that deals with death, being Thanatos, and then his brother is Hypnos, the god of sleep. Perhaps Lauro is some kind of combination of the two. Obviously, a scythe is represented by the Reaper or death, and Lauro, his whole shtick is sleeping. And while the two may seem very random, I mean, what is death but a permanent sleep? We're gonna end it here with a bit of a crazy one from Yurik Yu. Bear with me because this one has a lot of details. In one of our earlier videos, Superior Matt posted a theory about Emily, which was very interesting. Basically the fact that the Pobedao family seems to be communicating through this phone? These phones, and it's kind of weird because why wouldn't they be using pockets? So perhaps Emily is what's being used, and Rachel is the one who had Emily, so perhaps Gustang acquired Emily from Rachel. This theory basically takes that a step further. When we first met Emily in Workshop Battle, there was a deal between Madarako and Punk and Io, who were kind of these workshop people who were running the Workshop Battle, but of course, Madarako broke this deal and took the flask for himself and gave it to Kasano. And then Kasano basically gave it to Rachel. Rachel acquired it from Kasano, and then it's been in Rachel's possession ever since. Why did Madarako give it to Kasano? They're both from Fug. Which means that there was this task in Fug, whichever sector it is, right, that involved acquiring Emily through Madarako and through Kasano and through Rachel's group. This could imply either that Emily was kind of, in a way, always meant for Fug, or that Fug discovered its secrets and then found a way to kind of acquire it. But it essentially was there's a grand plan to acquire Emily in some way. That would kind of make Punk and EO, perhaps, meddlers in this plan, and then through the regulars and the workshop battle, they were able to have a backup, and that's why Rachel has Emily. It's kind of a backup plan. Why would Fug want Emily? Because she's kind of overpowered. I can't understate, and shout out to Yu for posting all this, I can't understate how insane Emily is, right? She spreads information and misinformation. We've seen this with Hockney in the paintings. You're always able to use Emily to your advantage. She's crazy intelligent. She can track you through Shinsu. When the ticketer is about to fight Boro, he senses Boro's ticket through Emily. And possibly the most important thing being that Emily can directly impede the ability of guides. If Emily's in the picture, the guide powers just don't work. Hua Ryun was almost reduced to completely useless in the Helltrain saga and workshop battle because of Emily, and even Evan was unable to discover Bomb's whereabouts while on the Helltrain because of Rachel and Emily. And what's pretty cool is that Emily is growing. There's like a version 1.4 you can see here. And perhaps when Gustang acquired the, quote, 3 important items from Rachel, one of those 3 important items, instead of the Uric bracelet that a lot of people tend to think it is, what if it was Emily instead? And this is why the Pobedao family now has this insane weapon at their disposal. We have to remember, Gustang was the mastermind of the workshop battle. Like, he was the one in control. He shows up at the end, he's talking to somebody, and it's revealed that this is all going according to his plans. So maybe he was using Fug and Madarako and all the people involved there to eventually acquire it for himself. He could kind of see where things were gonna go. And now that the Pobedao family has Emily, they're able to do basically whatever they want. I mean, they're creating these crazy new technologies, these warp ships that can appear and disappear in an instant. So much so that Traumarai himself was flabbergasted and unable to stop it or track it or anything. That's a family head we're talking about. This is a ship that can outsmart a family head. It could cripple Jihad's army. Their silver dwarves won't be able to do their silver dwarf thing. Jihad's own fate ability might be at stake here. Like, this is how important Emily could be, sending false orders to troops, and there's so much you can do with this weapon. And so Yu kind of ends it here by saying Emily is gonna basically bring down Jihad, which is insane. But like, if you think about it, Emily had such a big focus in workshop battle, and this kind of being the result, the end result of it, this human who is an ignition weapon, so what happens if she's even ignited, right? Being used by Gustang, who is the master scientist, to attempt to take down Jihad. If we're gonna have a perfect weapon to counter Jihad, it's something that can disrupt his fate ability. But what do you think about these theories? I thought these were all super fun. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Submit your own theories in the Discord server. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.